and 9. Srimad Canto First, Chapter 11, Lord Krishna's entrance into Dvārakā. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskrutam Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tata Jayam Pudire Nashtaprayeshu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhakti Bhavati Naishtiki. Hare Krishna. We try to understand Shloka number 8 and 9. Aho sonatha bhavata sma yat vayam.
अहो सनाथा भवता स्म यद्वयम्
Traivishtpanam api दूरदर्शनम
त्रैविष्टपानाम् अपि दूरदर्शनम्
प्रेमस्मित स्निग्ध निरीक्षण आननम
प्रेमस्मित स्निग्ध निरीक्षण आननम्
पश्येम रूपम तव सर्व सौभगम
पश्येम रूपं तव सर्वसौभगम्
यर्हि अंबुज अक्ष अपससार भो भवान
यर्हि अम्बुज अक्षपससार भो भवान्
अपससार भो भवान
अपससार भो
पुरुण
भवान्
वा अथ पुरुण मधुन वा अथ सुहृद दिदृक्षया
कुरुन् मधुन् वा अथ सुहृद दिदृक्षया
तत्र अब्द कोटि प्रतिमा क्षणो भवेत्
तत्र अब्धकोटि प्रतिमः क्षणो भवेत्
रविं विनक्ष्णोः विना अक्ष्णोः इव नः तव अच्युत
रविं विना अक्ष्णो इव नः तव अच्युतः
अहो स नाथः भवता स्म यत् वयम्
अहो सनाथा भवता स्म यत् वयम्
त्रैविष्टपानाम् अपि दूरदर्शनम्
त्रैविष्टपानाम् अपि दूरदर्शनम्
प्रेमस्मित स्निग्ध निरीक्षण आननम्
प्रेमस्मित स्निग्ध निरीक्षण आननम्
पश्येम रूपं तव सर्व सौभगम्
पश्येम रूपं तव सर्वसौभगम्
यर्हि अंबुज अक्ष अपससार भो भवान
यर्हि अम्बुज अक्ष अपससार भो भवान्
कुरुन् मधुन वा अत सुहृद दिदृक्षया
कुरुन् मधुन् वा अथ सुहृद दिदृक्षया
तत्र अब्द कोटि प्रतिमा क्षणो भवेत्
तत्र अब्धकोटि प्रतिमः क्षणो भवेत्
रविं विना अक्ष्णोः इव नः तव अच्युत
रविं विना अक्ष्णोः इव नः तव अच्युतः
अहो सनाथः भवता स्म यद्वयं प्रविष्टपाणाम् अपि दूरदर्शनम् प्रेमस्मित स्निग्ध निरीक्षण आननम् पश्येम रूपं तव सर्व सौभगम् यर्हि अम्बुजक्षपससार भो भवान् कुरुन् मधुन् वा अथ सुहृद्दिदृक्षया तत्र अब्धकोटि प्रतिमक्षणो भवेत् रविं विना अक्ष्णो इव न तव अच्युत. हरे कृष्ण.
हरे
प्लीज रीड.
अहो सनाथा भवता स्म यत् वयं त्रैविष्टपानामपि दूरदर्शनं प्रेमस्मित स्निग्ध निरीक्षण आननं पश्येम रूपं तव सर्वसौभगं यर्हि अम्बुज अक्ष अपपसार भो भवान् कुरुन् मधुन् वा अथ सुहृद दिदृक्षया तत्र अब्धकोटि प्रतिमः क्षणो भवेत् रवि विनाक्षण नोः इव न
अक्ष्णो इव
अक्ष्णो
विना
इव
अक्ष्णो इव
न
न तव
तव
अच्युत.
अच्युतः
पूनम माताजी.
हरे कृष्ण माता जी.
माताजी.
हरे कृष्ण माता जी.
हरे कृष्ण.
अहो सनाता भवता स्म यद् वयं त्रैविष्ट अपनम् अपि दुरादर्शनं प्रेमा स्मिता स्निग्धा निरीक्ष आननं पश्यम रूपम तव सर्व सौभागम यर्रे अंबुज अक्ष अप्सरास अप्ससरा
Apasasara.
अप्ससरा भूभुवन कुरुन मधुन वा अथ सुहृद दिदिक्षया तत्र अब्द कोटि प्रतिमा क्षणो भवेद रविम विन अक्षनोर इव न तब अच्युता.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Aho sana artha bhavata smayad vayam traivishtapanam abhidura darshanam prema smita snigdha nirikshananam pasyama rupam tava sarva shaubhagam yar yarti ambujakshapa akshapa sarasa Baba Bhavan Karun Madhun Vata Surid Dikshaya Tatra Apta Kodi Paratima Sanavo Baba Trim Viksha Nur Iva Tas Tava Achyuta. Thank you, Mother.
Hare Krishna. Please hear nicely. Aho sanatha bhavatasma yadvayam traivishtapanam api duradarshanam prema smita snigdha nirikshana ananam Pashema Rupam Tava Sarva Saubhagam Yari Ambuja Aksha Apasasara Bho Bhavan Kurun Madun Va Atha Suruda Didrukshaya Tatra Abda Koti Pratimakshano Bhavet Ravim Vina Akshno Ivana Tava Achyuta. Translation and purport by the Srila Prabhupada. Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Oh, it is our good luck that we have come again today under your protection by your presence. For your Lordship rarely visit even the denizens of heaven. Now it is possible for us to look into your smiling face, which is full of affectionate glances. We can now see your transcendental form, full of all auspiciousness. O lotus-eyed Lord, whenever you go away to Mathura, Vrindavan, or Hastinapur to meet your friends and relatives, every moment of your absence seems like millions of years. O infallible one, at that time our eyes become useless as if bereft of sun. Purport by the Srila Prabhupada. Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai. The Lord in his eternal personal form can be seen only by the pure devotees. The Lord is never impersonal, but he is supreme absolute personality of Godhead, possible to be visited by devotional service face to face, which is impossible to be done even by denizens of higher planets. When Brahmājī and other demigods want to consult Lord Viṣṇu, the plenary portion of the Lord Kṛṣṇa, they have to wait on shore of the ocean of milk, where Lord Viṣṇu is lying on white land, Śvetadvīpa. This ocean of milk and Śvetadvīpa planet are the replica of Vaikuṇṭhaloka within the universe. Neither Brahmājī nor the demigods like Indra can enter into this island of Śvetadvīpa, but they can stand on the shore of the ocean of milk and transmit their message to Lord Viṣṇu, known as Kshuradakshai Viṣṇu. Therefore, the Lord is rarely seen by them, but inhabitant of Dvārakā, because of their being pure devotees without any tinge of material contamination of fruitive activities and empiric philosophical speculation, can see him face to face by the grace of the Lord. This is original state of living entities and can be attained by reviving our natural and constitutional state of life, which is discovered by devotional service only. We are all proud of our material senses for making experiments to determine the existence of God. But we forget that our senses are not absolute by themselves. They can only act under certain conditions. For example, our eyes. As long as the sunshine is there, our eyes are useful to a certain extent. But in absence of sunshine, The eyes are useless. Lord Sri Krishna, being the primeval Lord, the supreme truth, is compared to the sun. Without him, all our knowledge is either false or partial. The opposite of the sun is the darkness. And similarly, the opposite of Krishna is Maya or illusion. The devotees of Lord can see everything in true perspective due to the light disseminated by Lord Krishna. By the grace of the Lord, the pure devotee cannot be in the darkness of ignorance. Therefore, it is necessary that we must always be in sight of Lord Krishna so that we can see both ourselves and the Lord with his different energies. As we cannot see anything in the absence of the sun, so also we cannot see anything, including our own self, without the factual presence of the Lord. Without him, all our knowledge is covered by illusion. Om Jnanatimidandasya ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपः कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरोः श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरोन् वैष्णवाञ्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सगण रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्ण चैतन्य देवं श्री राधा कृष्ण पादान् सगण ललिता श्री विशाखान्वितांच नमो ओम विष्णु पादाय कृष्ण प्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्ति वेदांत स्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे वाञ्छा कल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्णा। We continuing Srimad Bhagavatam, canto first, chapter 11, Lord Krishna's entrance into Dvārakā. We try to understand shloka number 8 and 9. Here, citizens of Dvārakā describing about the Lord in absence of how they are, and after, now when they are coming in their capital, how they are. All points are nicely described. Prabhuji will tell us in detail. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you very much, Mataji. So, the lady in the golden flame is looking very pretty to the moth. Her fiery smile makes him dance in joy. Now, it is not that the fiery golden flame is smiling just at him, but at all. But the moth believes her smile is only for him. And so he, without wasting any moment, runs desperately to be with her. As he inches closer to the golden lady, looks much more prettier. He becomes desperate to embrace her. The lady, looking bright yellow, spreads her arms for him, and the moth, with the hope to enjoy unlimited pleasure, jumps into her arms. But immediately, his hope turns into nightmare, happiness into deep agony. His beautiful wings, which allowed him to play with the wind and jump from one plant to another to play with colorful flowers, is now in fire. He tries hard to come out of the embrace. With teary eyes, he looks at her, but she is indifferent to his pleas. He cries in pain. He tries his best to free himself. Soon, he realizes his efforts will go in vain. And slowly he surrenders himself to her and allows himself to be devoured by her. And meanwhile, the victorious lady smiles slyly and spreads her arms to welcome the other moth, who in hope of unlimited pleasure is running towards her to enjoy with her. We may all feel for the moth, or may even pity him for his foolishness. But his story and our story, it's not much different. The material world too looks extremely attractive externally and provides us a hope of unlimited enjoyment. It promises that the thirst of all senses will be quenched forever once we surrender fully. And so we start working hard for material pleasure, believing in the false promise that it will give us perennial joy. But just like the ocean, which is filled with water, cannot satisfy a thirsty man, similarly, the vast resources of this material world cannot provide any pleasure to us. The material energy binds us in this material world by our senses. The more we try to enjoy here, our senses becomes wild and strong. And instead of we being in control of our senses, our uncontrolled senses take control of our lives. Like a puppet, the senses make us dance as per its whims. And hence Srila Prabhupada writes in Bhagavad Gita, the more one is addicted to material pleasures, the more he is entrapped by material miseries. Just like the moth, we suffer terribly and find it extremely difficult to free ourselves from the grip of uncontrolled senses. It is these uncontrolled senses which actually are imperfect. And this is what the citizens of Dvārakā, who are eternal associates of Krishna, have understood and reiterate. They tell Krishna that we can come under your protection only by your presence. We know that Krishna rarely visits even the denizens of heaven. But for us, we are able to look into the smiling face, which is full of affectionate glances. They are able to see the transcendental form, which is full of auspiciousness. They are able to look at the face of the Lord with the pankaja netra, the lotus-eyed. And so they are very, very much attracted to Krishna. One who is infallible. That is what they say. That Krishna, you are infallible. But then the absence of Krishna, every moment seems like millions of years. And if Krishna is not there, when Achyuta is not there, then they feel that even the eyes are useless, as if there is no sun. And that is the importance of looking at Krishna, of understanding Krishna, understanding that Krishna is not impersonal. He has a personal form. He has an eternal personal form, which can be seen, but not by everyone. It can be seen only by pure devotees. And in fact, not only that, the pure devotees can actually visit Krishna. How? By devotional service. They can be face to face with Krishna. And like even the demigods, even they cannot come in contact with Krishna. Like when Brahmājī or the other demigods, they have any problems, and they want to consult Lord Viṣṇu. Now, Lord Viṣṇu, we all know, is one of the plenary expansions of Lord Kṛṣṇa. So, he is lying on the in the Śvetadvīpa, on the ocean of milk. So, Lord Krishna, Brahmājī and other demigods, if they want to consult, they have to wait on the shore of the ocean of milk. Now, ideally, the ocean of milk and Śvetadvīpa, they are replicas of Vaikuṇṭhaloka. But neither Brahmājī nor the demigods can enter into this land of Śvetadvīpa. They can only stand on the shore of the ocean of milk and transmit their message to Lord Viṣṇu, the Kshirodakṣayi Viṣṇu. They are rarely able to see Krishna. But as opposed to them, the inhabitants of Dvārakā, because of their pure devotional service to Krishna, which was so pure, Shuddhatamaha, that it was completely bereft of any material contamination of fruitive activities or even jnana, that is empiric philosophical speculation. And so they could see Krishna face to face by the grace of the Lord. Prabhupada says, this actually is our original state, wherein we are completely free of any material contamination, neither are we disturbed by any empiric philosophical speculations, and we can be face to face with Krishna. And he says that this is not something which is difficult to attain. It can be attained simply by reviving our natural and constitutional state of life. And what is that? Where do we get it? This is discovered by the devotional service only. And the moment we get it, we are face to face with Krishna. And then we have nothing to worry at all in our whole of life. But then the moment we try to do anything with our senses, they are imperfect senses, which are only causing us harm, as we saw the moth getting harmed. Because they are not absolute by themselves. The senses can act only under certain conditions. For example, look at eyes. As long as sunshine is there, the eyes are useful because we can see something. But in the absence of sunshine, in darkness, the eyes are useless. Even if you had the most beautiful eye, but there is no light, what is the use? Now Krishna, he is the primeval Lord, the supreme truth. So in the literatures we find that Krishna is always compared to being the sun. Without him, all the knowledge is either false or partial. Now just like darkness is opposite of sun, similarly Maya or illusion is opposite of Krishna. So if you are not under the shelter of Krishna, then Maya takes control of us. So a devotee can see everything in true perspective because he has got the knowledge given by Krishna, or what we can say, the light which is emanating, disseminated by Lord Kṛṣṇa. So with the grace of the Lord, the pure devotee cannot be in the darkness of ignorance. So we must always be in sight of Lord Kṛṣṇa so that we can see both ourselves and the Lord with his different energies. Just like in absence of sun, we cannot see anything. Similarly, we cannot see anything, including our own self, without the factual presence of the Lord. Without him, all the knowledge is just like being covered by illusion. We are proud of our eyes. We say Oh, beautiful eyes. In fact, in one of the lectures, I have seen people saying, I have got eyes. Can you show me God? But then our eyes are not long, so long, perfect. It is not even as perfect as the light is. So they are conditional. Light is there, I can see. The moment no light, I cannot see. Therefore, every sense we are processing, not only eyes, they are not perfect. We acquire knowledge by using our different senses. Therefore, because the senses are not perfect, whatever knowledge you gather by speculation, that is also imperfect. But if you take knowledge from such personalities who are liberated, then the knowledge is perfect. And that is the process of acquiring knowledge in Krishna consciousness. That we receive knowledge from the perfect person who comes in the disciplic succession. And that is why you will see that Vrindavan Das Thakurji, and he was such a great devotee. But he says in his books, Bhagavata kahe. He does not say in my opinion. He always says Bhagavata kahe. And that is the fact. Na bhaved grahyam indriyehi. Indriya means senses. So our present senses are blunt, imperfect. They are defective. So many faults. Everyone can understand that we want to see God, but we cannot see even our eyelid. What to think of seeing God? Even if you block the eyes, we cannot see this little fragment of the skin. And still we are proud and we say we want to see God. That is not possible. Our senses are imperfect, while Lord's senses are omnipotent. That is, any sense can perform the activity of any other sense. But with our limited senses, we cannot believe that the Lord can eat by his transcendental power of hearing and do anything. The controlled living entity cannot even dream of such activities in his conditioned life. But simply by the activities of Bhakti Yoga, he can understand that the Lord and his activities are always transcendent. And this is what Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita. Bhaktya mama vijanati yavanya chasmi tatvataha. One cannot know even a fraction of the activities of the Lord if he is not a pure devotee of the Lord. And that is why Prabhupada says that we need to improve our complete dedication towards Krishna. We cannot continue with the imperfect senses. We can come under Krishna's protection by his presence, and Krishna is present in his name form now. And that is why we need to chant incessantly and take part in Sankirtana. Then we'll be able to get out of all the problems, just like Krishna, the Achyutaha, who is there, who is our eternal well-wisher. Thank you very much.